Hello, everyone. You're here for another episode, another interview for the Women Walking in Newness, Why We Win interviews. I'm Kendra Davis, your host today. And today we have Shante Cross, who is a licensed mental health practitioner for children. Hi, Shante.
Hi.
You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, Shante?
So I am actually the school-based case manager at J.P. King Middle School in Franklin. As a case manager, I work with at-risk teens. I provide support and assistance to help them have a positive and successful learning experience. I am a wife and mother of three.
Okay. How old are you, Shante?
I am 34.
34?
I
You had
am.
to think about it.
I did because I was about to say 24, but then I was like, hold on now. Hold on.
I'm 23 forever. I'm trying to get back to my 23 body.
I know that's right. I wouldn't mind that body either. Listen.
Right.
Got a couple pudges that I could get rid of.
A couple rows here and there. In your introduction on your bio, you had a very heart-moving statement. Do you care to elaborate on the statement?
Which statement are you talking about?
I gotta find it. I don't want to misquote, but it was something related to being the adult that you wish you had as a child, as a teenager.
Yeah. So being a teenager was very hard. And it didn't help that my mother was in a car accident at the age when I was 12. I was sixth grade. She was in a car accident. She nearly lost her life, but she never fully recovered from that. So imagine being a teenager and you already have all these different emotions, different feelings, so many things unknown happening in this moment, and then you practically lose your person. Mm-hmm. So in that moment, in those years, she didn't recover, but I also got hit with things that I didn't know, like depression. I will often cry myself to sleep. I long for someone to see me, to hear me, to guide me, to shoot, even hold me when I just needed a hug that day. But you know, that person didn't come. So I then eventually started living a double life. I would go to school Monday to Friday at 3:15, and I was like a good student. I got good grades. Some may even call me the teacher's pet. I did what I was supposed to do. But as soon as 3:15 hit and that bell rung, I was a functioning alcoholic.
Wow.
All I did was drink from Friday to early Sunday morning. And what I did Saturday after what is now Sunday morning, I would come home, I would go in my room, and I would take 2 Tylenol PM, 2 regular Tylenol, and I would go to sleep. I would wake up Sunday, get myself together, get prepared for Monday, because I knew I had to go back to school and I had to be this person that essentially the school wanted me to be. So that lasted all the way up into my adulthood. But in my adulthood, things changed. I then found myself in toxic relationships. And that lasted up until I was 21 when I had my son. Mm-hmm. And my son, he was God sent to me. And the reason I say that, because when I found out I was pregnant with my son, my first thought was, I can't have this baby. Mm-hmm. I can't have this baby. I don't know what I'm doing in my life right now. I'm reckless, and I know I'm reckless, but I went to the abortion clinic to have an abortion, and they told me I was too far along. So at that moment, I had to buck up. I had to, what? I'm looking at this lady like, no, you're lying. You are lying to me. No. Couldn't be, because nothing had changed up until that moment. Mm-hmm. But that was literally what I had been asking God for. I had been praying for something to live for, and He granted my wish. So
that's amazing. And that's a very profound story. And I'm glad that you're able to be transparent about it now, because I believe that the next question I'm about to ask you, you probably just answered it in your statement, but I'm still going to ask it because you might have more to say other than just using your own testimony as the fuel the fuel for your passion to help these children that you work with daily. what else made you choose the career that you chose as a qualified mental health provider for children?
Okay, so this wasn't my first career choice. My first career choice was a business major. I enrolled into Paul D, which is our community college, and I started taking business classes. But as you know, in school, you have to take electives. So aside from my business courses, I started taking early childhood classes and psychology classes. So in those classes, they sparked my interest. It's like, whoa, you know, all of these things go on in the brain, or kids really face these things. Like, really, I thought it was just me. I felt like it was just me, but these are books,
and that's amazing because it would cut you off real quick. I mean, you said you felt like it was just you. And a lot of kids feel that way. They feel like nobody has ever, a lot of people in general, you have adults too that feel that way, but a lot of kids feel that way. They feel like it was, there's nobody else who's ever been through it. There's nobody else who understands it. There's nobody else that they can talk to. Yep. And so I guess transparency plays a big part in the trust factor that you have with your clients.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. But you know, Kendra, it took me a while to get to that point. Because of me feeling like this was only me, I felt ashamed. And as I have gotten older and started living in my truth, because in order to move forward in a positive manner, you have to tackle the things that you have already been through.
Right.
Those demons. Right. Those things, because if you don't, they're going to keep coming. They're going to keep nagging you. They're going to keep pulling you in different directions. So in my experience, I had to tackle those things, and they hurt. Reliving those moments hurt, but I had to do it. And by doing that, it made me who I am. You know, I had to say, I started looking at if I was going through these things and no one talked to me about it, how many other kids are going through the things that I'm going through that no one talked about? Right. Because even, I'm going to use this as an example. One of my friends got married, and I was a part of her wedding. And in her wedding, it was a girl who I went to school with that I did not like in school. I did not like this girl in school. And I started wondering, like, when she told me that she was going to be in the wedding, she was like, I don't want no mess. And I was like, girl, I ain't thinking about that girl. But then I started thinking, what didn't I like about this girl? Right. And the thing was, I was jealous. Right. I'm straight upset. I was jealous. This girl.
One of the things that we addressed with the interview last week with Latoya Jotz, she addressed, you know, how hard we are as women on one another, even in the adolescent stages. So you're correct. And you were jealous because? I was jealous because I felt like she had everything I wanted. On the outside. Not materialistically. Yes, materialistic. Okay, so materialistic, I can't say that because materialistically speaking, we was on the same page. Right. You know, we got the newest shoes at the same time. We had that, but sitting back on the outside looking in at her, she was popular, she was smart. Sorry, my phone keep ringing. Let me actually put that on. It's fine. So, she was popular, which I was popular in school too. But I often heard like how close she was with her father. Her mother was always present from what I could see. Right. So those things also tugged at me, even though I didn't know this girl personally. On the outside looking in, it was like, dang, everybody like her. You know, she's pretty. Her dad is around. Her mom is around. And don't get me wrong, my dad and my mom was present my entire life. But like I said, my mom went through what she went through, and my dad had his own demons he was battling. Right. But them being around wasn't enough for me. Right. I didn't feel the love that I felt like I needed in those moments with them. You know, so with her, it was the same thing. I would take what I felt like I didn't have and throw it on her. Right. But anyways, back to there's a lot of young people that have present parents and still feel that there's some type of void. So is this something that you experience a lot with your cases, with your clients? Like they have parents that are present, and you see these parents, and you know these parents, you've seen them in action with their kids. You've seen these parents, you know they work, you know they take care of their home, but yet there's something missing with their child. Have you seen, because personally, I'm a advocate for mental illness treatment and mental health awareness. My kids have been in therapy. They went to therapy young because I wanted them to know how to appropriately handle their emotions, because it's not something that's become a heavy thing here lately, the mental health of children,
Yeah.
But is that something you see in your client base? Because
Yes, definitely.
they have great parents that you see, right? But something's missing with them kids. And
Yeah. So that's a lot of my kids I deal with. They have parents, but maybe they have only one parent in the household, and then that parent has multiple kids. So it's hard to really, I guess, address it as, yeah, these parents are present, but being that these parents, like this mother, I'm gonna say this mother has multiple kids, she's also trying her best. But also, when you look back, was she ever taught?
right,
Or did she conquer the things she needed to conquer as a child? Or
right,
did she take a look at herself? So
correct,
what I try to do with my parents and kids, I try to understand where they're coming from, because I had to understand where my parents is coming from. Were my parents loved the way they were loved? Did they know how to love me?
right.
I didn't even know how to love me.
That's
So
interesting. Because I believe a Facebook friend posted it, and I will tell people quick. I had to, when I was a mother at 19, with my daughter, and I'm like, I don't know how to handle this. Like, I don't know how to appropriately, like you said, you didn't love you. I don't know how to appropriately love me. I need to learn how to love me right, so I can love them right, love her right, and then she can know how to love her right. So it's a cycle. I see that.
yeah, it is a cycle. And my advice to everybody is to really dig deep, really sit back and think about, what is it that I need to be loved, to feel loved, and to love myself first. Because if you don't love yourself, you really can't love anybody else. I mean, you can't. I'm gonna say, for me, it was my son who really made me see how to love. Because I had to love him. I have never felt that type of love before a day in my life.
Right.
And what I did was, I took the way I was loved and said, hold on, I didn't like that, so let me try something different with him.
Right.
So the way my parents showed me love was giving. They gifted me stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really asked for and longed for was time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted.
Time and
I wanted that attention. I wanted time. And when coming up, a lot of my friends felt like, girl, you got it easy. Your mama don't question where you going or where you at.
But I want her to.
But I wanted her to.
Right. Because everyone, I don't care who they are, they desire discipline and structure. Mm-hmm. They desire. They can be resistant to it, but in the end, they succumb to it. Everyone, and I hate to use this as an example, but this is a prime example. Why do you think the prisons are so packed? Discipline and structure, because some people don't know how to instill self-discipline in their lives, and they've lived unstructured lives their entire life. Like, I don't know where I'm gonna stay, sleep, eat, bathe, little simple things that we take for granted every day. And so they get that type of structure in institutional environments. So I get exactly what you're saying when you say, hey, no, I want my mama to say, girl, where you think you're going? Yep. I want you to go off on me one good time. Please do that for me, because in a little weird way, it shows me that you do care, and I'll sit down.
Yeah. I'll sit down. And I feel like in today's schooling, in the school systems today, with the lack of teachers, the lack of staff, our kids don't have that. We don't have that structure, because we have teachers that come and quit. So now you're looking at one class being taught by 45 different teachers. Mm-hmm. And then we wonder why kids not respecting these teachers. Is because they don't know these teachers.
That's okay. That brings me to my next question. So it's one, in my opinion, I have my own opinions about certain stuff, but what do you think is the number one caveat to your clients not reforming, conforming, adhering adhering to the program, the treatment program or whatever? What do you think is the number one caveat to them not being able to successfully complete a program or successfully open up or instill the plan that's wrote out for them to,
Okay. So
follow?
when you say number one, I don't think it's just one reason. I
Okay.
feel like it's a lot of reasons.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is the saying, it takes a village.
Right.
To me, it takes a village.
Mm-hmm.
I'm only one person. So I can do my part, but if I don't have the people backing me up,
right,
my part fails.
Right.
I don't care how hard I go, my part is going to fail because I only see these kids for a certain period of time. Mm-hmm. And being that in my school system, I am the only one and I deal with 6th to 8th graders, I only take on about 20 clients at a time.
Okay.
So with these 20 clients, I'm trying to be here. I'm trying to be everything I could possibly be for them, but I can't. I can't do that. So I need the school system to back me up. I need the school system to say, hey, XYZ is doing this. Can you handle it? I need to know what's going on because I can't be in every place at once. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if this child acted up in first period on Monday, I don't find out till Friday. How can I reprimand that child on for what they did Monday? From what we know, kids, you have to enforce things as soon as it happened.
Right.
You have to get down, you have to reprimand them as soon as it happened for it to stick, for them to understand, okay, that was wrong. But if they did something Monday and I don't find out till Friday, I can talk to them about that. But at this point, what you want me to do?
What about their family environment? Because you said the school needs to back, and I understand that because, like you said, it takes a village. So you have community at home, you have communities in school, you have family, and then you have people in your field, the doctors and the mental health practitioners and providers. So what about at home? What do you think is the number one caveat? And I know it's going to be different because every home is not run the same. But what do you think is like the primary caveat to these kids not adjusting well?
So thinking about the village,
like what can parents do?
The parents are
right.
The parents are a part of that village that I'm talking about. So like I said, it depends on what child it is, but my biggest concern with the parent is start advocating for your child.
Right.
Show up to the school board meetings.
Right.
Start telling your child, okay, it's 9:00, go to bed.
Right.
Go to bed. I have clients who stay up to 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock.
Wow.
And then they expect them to come to school, stay up, behave. But we all know if the brain don't get that rest to rejuvenate itself, what happens?
It loses data.
Exactly. So if I know me personally, if I go to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning, I got to get up and come to work, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. So I can't expect the child to get up and perform at their best if no one is at home saying, go to bed,
right,
get up, eat, bathe. All these things play a part.
Right.
So if we don't have that, then we can't expect our child to come and perform at their best.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I need. I need for everybody to get on the same page, really. I need for the school system or I need more people to apply for educational jobs. We need a bigger pool of teachers and staff.
And diversified. Yeah. And also, the city of Franklin is not a very large community.
It's not.
But pretty much everybody would know everybody, right?
Yep.
Similar, almost. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that people don't know because that's not their group of people. But so we talked about how the school system can help. We talked about how parents can contribute by, providing more structure, and the school system can provide more resources. Basically, and what do you feel like the community, because Franklin only has 3 schools and you're at the middle school, and that's the most important phase of a kid's life, believe it or not. That's where they're really learning where they are in life, right? Or who they want to be. And after that, it's like free flowing, the high school phase. But what can the city do? Yeah, because I know you're a private employee. However, the city overall, because they don't have a large school system,
We don't.
So the city overall, what can be done in the city to provide resources? I know it's a lot of privately owned resources there, but there should be some, I feel like there should be some public resources as well available to people, especially those who don't know how to find resources, if that makes sense.
Okay. So speaking on finding resources, the thing about Franklin is that we have a lot of things here. It's just for some reason they're not getting the attention that they need. So I think somehow figuring out a way to reach these parents and these students. I know the Franklin Parks and Rec have been doing a lot of different things, but I don't know what their attendance is.
Right.
You know, we have a lot of little organizations out here doing stuff, and they're actually making strides to helping the community. Like we have Down the Middle Foundation, which I am a T-ball coach for. They are really out here doing it. We have Camp 25, who does different stuff for the kids. We just need to figure out a way to reach all these kids. We need more volunteers. We need more parents stepping up to the plate saying, you know what? Let me go do this. Let me bring my child. And I promise you, if we can get that, it's gonna start changing Franklin.
Right.
We get that parent involvement. And we need to start having parents out here like when we grew up, where you went the wrong block, your mama knew about it.
Right.
And mama didn't fuss at the person who told me about it. They fussed at you.
Right. So accountability.
Accountability. We need all of that.
I'm gonna move forward because we're running out of time.
Okay.
But I do have two final questions maybe like two or three, but they all roll into one. So I'm gonna put them all out there because once you start talking, you're gonna answer every single question about to ask. So the first one is, how do you maintain your professional approach? You're a mother, you're a wife. You were a teen that had some issues going on in your life. So how do you maintain a professional approach with your clients and maintain safe boundaries for yourself and them emotionally and mentally? Okay, that's question one. Question two, how do you decompress? Like when your day is done, how do you not take this back into your home? Because you see so much and like I said, you're kind of like interconnected with the situations. And then the last one is, how do you maintain your work-life balance with you and your 3 kids and your husband, and then you yourself? How do you maintain work-life balance? So let's go with the first one, and then you can roll into the rest of them. The professional approach and safe boundaries.
Okay, so professional approach and safe boundaries. I'm still trying to figure that out, to be honest with you, because this is personal,
right?
But it being personal, I feel like it is what gives that rapport with my kids. They see, okay, Miss Cross, one thing, I'm not playing with you. I can play with you, but you know when I'm serious. So when I'm serious, it's time to get serious. But that is the same way I handle my household.
Right.
My kids know I can play with you. We can have fun. We can do that. But when it's time to get serious, it's time to get serious. And the kids, they know this. They understand this.
Because they desire structure.
And these kids can look at me today and I can give them a look. The kids in this building, the same way I do my kids at home, I can look at them and I can give them a look. And they already like, okay. The kids in this building do the same exact thing. Okay, I'm not playing. All right, she got it. We good. You know, so it's all about rapport. It's all about, and when you build that rapport with kids, you build that trust with kids. So after a while, I don't even have to try for them to come to me and tell me exactly what's going on in their life.
They're telling you stuff you don't even want to know.
I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know that. And kids talk. They want to talk.
They want to be heard.
They want somebody to hear them.
Correct.
So it's nothing. You just got to give them that respect also. That's a missing part with adults and kids. A lot of adults feel like respect. I don't need to give that child a respect. They need to respect me. Yes, I am old school where I give my respect first to the adult, but also I feel like I gave you my respect. So can you earn mine? Like, don't curse me out or fuss me out in front of my peers. Pull me to the side for a second. Right. Like, I don't have to fuss my kids out in front of anybody. Let me holler at you real quick.
You get a different response. I know my previous career that I was in for so long, even with the adults in that atmosphere, you get a different response. I believe in correcting in private and praising in public, which like earlier you were talking about reprimand, and you said it has to be corrective actions have to happen immediately. They have to be immediate. They have to be concise. What about reward systems? They should be the same way, right?
They
I
should.
shouldn't do something great and have to wait to get praise when I do something wrong and you're on me,
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
like a bee on a honey stick.
Exactly. And another thing is follow through. Don't promise me something and then don't do it.
Don't do it, right?
Because these kids, they hold that.
Right.
They hold that and they start
I don't promise. I don't promise. I'm gonna just hold it in here, and then when I get it done, it'll be a surprise. I don't make promises because I don't ever want to say, and this is me personally. I don't ever want a kid telling me I lied to them. Well, nobody actually, but at the end of the day, I really don't want a kid telling me you lied to me. You told me you were gonna such and such and such, because that's hurtful. One, if you care about that child, and then two, like that child develops trust issues that last throughout their life. Whenever somebody tells them something, they won't believe it anymore.
Exactly. And when that trust is broken, that's what they internalize that.
Correct.
They internalize that, because that's what I did as a child. If you told me one thing and you didn't follow through, now I'm mad. Now I don't trust anybody. I don't trust anybody,
especially you, especially that person who lied to you.
Exactly. Like you said, how do I decompress?
Decompress and maintain your work-life balance.
Yeah, I'm still learning that too. I'm gonna be 100%.
So what do you do to decompress though? You have to have an outlet.
My outlet is my going home and seeing my kids is the first thing that I can use to decompress. When I see my babies and I say, you know what, I feel like I'm doing something right, that gives me that gratification to get me to the next day. Or I'm going to use yesterday. Yesterday, I ran into a young lady who was not on my radar, has never been on my radar in this building, but I spoke with her and she gave me another reason to proceed. So I decompressed by going home and thinking about those things. Like, you know what? I'm doing something right.
But what are some fun things that you do with your family or by yourself to this?
Okay, so speaking of fun things, I like to travel.
Don't we all?
Travel. Listen, a lot of people don't like planes, but I love a plane.
I love an airplane.
Like Erykah Badu said, "Can I get a window seat?"
Yes,
window seat,
Let me get a window seat.
Let me get a window seat. But also that takes money, so I don't do that as much. Right. I'm still in learning that work-life balance. Right. I just try my hardest to leave work at work, right. But I'm also, when I tell my kids I'm there for them, my students, I'm there for you. So I get phone calls 7-8 o'clock at night. Miss Cross, I'm going through something. All right, let me.
We just need to call you the female Joe Clark.
I mean, they just pop up on me, man. And it's certain students that they do good, and I don't mean to neglect them because they're doing good. But when you're doing good, I feel like I need to focus on somebody else. So I have kids who pull up on me.
That's what I'm about to say, because that's where that praise system comes in. Like, so maybe we like developing a scheduled praise system, but that's where that praise system comes in, because they're doing good because they want to make Miss Cross proud.
Yeah, so when I don't show up, they let me know. Hold on, you ain't been here in 3 days. What's going on? Exactly. So, I'm trying to do better with showing up, being there for them, good or bad. Hey, what's up? Even a quick text message on a Wednesday. Hey, you good? I haven't talked to you this week. That goes a long way. Absolutely. So, yeah, there's a couple things that I still need to work on myself, like trying to decompress, like you said, because I ain't got that down pat yet. And learning to leave work where work is. Mm-hmm. But I hate to say it, I don't know if that's going to ever change, because like I said, I take this personal. I'm from here. I want to see our city do great things. I know we can, and I'm gonna keep trying. Even if I leave this field, I'm gonna keep trying to do what I can do for my community to succeed. Right. And that's just what I put on myself. That's So I got to figure it out.
Let me see, can we help you with that? Gotta find something to do to get that up off of you, because it'll take a toll on you. It would, over a period of years, because it's something whenever you're passionate about something, passion has waged wars. Passion has drove people mentally insane. So yeah, you're passionate about something, you tend to dive head first into it, not considering the repercussions, the adverse effect, the side effects, none of that. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta find healthy ways to make sure that we're healthy for the people that we want to help maintain their, Yeah,
I just need to make some more money so I can take more trips.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
I'm trying to build me some freaking flower points. You hear me?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Do you have tips for the parents or the caregivers? I mean, I know you just addressed that when you were like, they need to be more active in their kids and advocate for their kids and instill more boundaries, rules, and structure where they're concerned.
All of that, but also I really just need for our parents to figure out how to heal
themselves. Heal themselves, and then everything, because nothing comes from rotten trees except rotten fruit. You know,
exactly. Just heal. Just figure out what it is that is really holding you back and heal from that. Because I promise you, once you heal from that, everything else will start getting better.
Absolutely.
And talk. Just talk. Let it out. Don't be ashamed of your past. Let it out. Let it flow. Let it go.
Right. So I'm gonna gather from that adults need mental health treatment too.
Oh, definitely.
Counseling. And even if there's a stigma on it, because we're 80s babies, right? We're 80s babies. So there's a stigma on it. Even in the 80s, our generation, we 80s babies, grew up in the 80s and the 90s. But even with us being not that far, because we not old. We not old, we just fine. So even with that, being in that generation, we know that the generations before us are really like, especially in the African American community, those generations are a lot of them are anti-psychiatrists, anti-therapists, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna take it to God. I'm gonna work it away. I'm gonna stay busy to keep my mind off of it. That's that generation. Whereas in like our generation gravitated more towards, okay, we need to seek help, but that was later in life. We didn't do it early on in life. So now we're just literally beginning to recognize the fact that, hey, there's nothing wrong with talking to someone.
There's
nothing wrong with seeking treatment. If you had a broken leg, you would ask to go to the doctor, right? You would put the cast on, you would use the crutches, you would take the pain medicine. It is the equivalent, except you can't see it.
Yep, that's true. That is definitely true.
So I'm glad you said that, like, because most of the kids you see, their parents are in our age range.
Yeah, and my thing is, so when I first became a QMHP-C, I dealt with just kids, but my biggest thing with that was if a child is required to do counseling, any type of counseling, the therapeutic day counseling, outpatient counseling, that parent or those parents, anybody adult wise connected to that child, should be mandated to do some counseling as well. I feel like that is the only way that we can actually help these kids heal. We can't counsel somebody and then send them back into the same environment.
Right.
You can't do that. Outpatient therapy, you get it maybe once a week.
It actually makes it worse. I feel like it makes it worse because, and we got 5 minutes, but I feel like it makes it worse because it's like having asthma and you walk into a room full of smoke, right? Exactly. I took a breathing treatment before I left home, but then I walk into a house full of smoke. I just defeated the purpose of me taking the breathing treatment because at the end of the day, and then it's going to make it worse every time I do it. Because as they come to counseling and therapy and learn new techniques and learn new coping mechanisms, when you know better, you do better. And they're wondering why the people around them aren't doing better too.
Yep, exactly. I can teach my kids triggers all day long, but if the parents don't know what their triggers are, then what you think this child gonna do?
Right.
We have to understand these are still just kids.
Right.
They're still just kids. So everybody need counseling. Everybody needs counseling.
And I also believe that even though, the confidentiality of the child being able to bear their soul because their parent might be the problem. At some point in time, it should be a group session as well. Because
everybody in the house.
And respectfully to tell whoever they're having an issue with, respectfully, that they have an issue.
Yep. Everybody needs to be talking. Everybody needs to figure out what the problem is, and once we figure that out, we need to bring everybody into it. We need to have meetings with the school, let them know that this happened and this is what we need for our kids.
Right.
My child is different. They need to be doing this. They need to be doing that. We just need an overall collective conversation.
So in other words, so you said it and everybody heard it, that it's a group effort. It takes a village. It is not just on one individual who went to school and studied and stayed up all night and drank tons of caffeine and took all the exams and then marched across the stage in the dead of summer to fix these kids. It takes the entire village.
It takes the entire village. One person cannot do it by themselves. Can one person leave an impact? Yes.
Yes.
But usually if you're thinking about you and myself, I'm pretty sure that we done all these things. We could have had that one teacher that stuck with us throughout life. Mm-hmm. But when we remember what that teacher did, we already in the mess.
Right.
So we need consistency as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
you're driving a car, you don't take your hands off the wheel because it's in cruise control, unless you're in a Tesla.
But we just need everybody on board. We need everybody on board. Everybody putting in the work, especially here in my city.
Claim the city.
In my city, this is my city, man. I've been away and I'm back again. I don't plan on going nowhere. It's something about this city that just says I need to be here. Everybody asks, why you haven't moved? Why you don't move nowhere? Kids asked me the other day, why you don't move out of Franklin? I don't want to.
Shante, it has been lovely. Lovely. I promise you. And it's been insightful. You did great. I thank you for the information. It's something that really needs to be addressed because a lot of people just don't know. They just don't know. But until next time, I appreciate you coming on and doing my what I call it, a casual interview for the Women Walking in Newness While We Win series. And there'll be more to come. So I really appreciate it. And everybody
I have enjoyed it. I appreciate it. Like I told you, I'm nervous, but it was good. I liked it.
Yeah, that's why it's casual, because I don't want anybody to not be themselves. It's free flowing, you know?
Yeah.
Free flowing. And now I'm ringing. Can't do it. So until next time. All right. Until next time, everybody else, we will see you next week.